welcome to a new episode of the AfriTech Connect, where discussions unfold to explore the forefront of spatial technology, project management, inclusive leadership, and wellness within the AfriTech community, but also the Mauritian society. I would like to remind you that the AfriTech Connect is a space for all of us, and so feel free to take as much space as you need. So today's core theme will be centered around wellness under the title Career Wellness, Balancing Mind and Body. And for this session tonight, I will have wonderful speakers with me. So I will proceed without delay to introduce the outstanding women making strides in the STEAM domain who are graciously sharing this space with us tonight. So among them, there is Anne-Sophie Virassamy. So Anne-Sophie is passionate about the ocean world. Anne-Sophie has a Bachelor of Science in Marine Science and works as a technical officer at the Ministry of Blue Economy. Her hobbies include scuba diving, underwater photography, and videography. She loves shooting video of her underwater adventures to showcase the beauty of the marine world. She aspires to become a scientific diver and help protect, restore, and sustain marine resources. Hello, Anne-Sophie, and thank you for being here with us tonight.
Hello, Anne-Gaëlle, and hello, everyone. So thank you for the intro, and I'm happy also to be here, and I hope you will all enjoy this session on wellness.
Thank you. We will also have with us tonight Jenisha Gaya. So Jenisha is an aspiring medical physicist and a young entrepreneur who always stays true to her motto, leave no one behind. With the desire to keep expanding her knowledge pool, she is currently pursuing further studies in radiation physics and an MBA. Her diversified exposure has contributed to society, enhanced her personal development, and inspired many people. And one of her inspirational catchphrases is, "Together we can." It starts with me, you, and us. Thank you, Jenisha, for being here tonight.
Thank you, Anga, and hello, everyone.
We will also have with us tonight Rihanna Tanden. As an agricultural pioneer whose journey embodies the transformative power of passion and dedication, from her roots as an intern at the Mauritius Sugarcane Industry Research Institute to her current role as an agricultural support officer, Rihanna's commitment to modernizing agriculture is unwavering. With a degree in agroscience and technology and now pursuing an MBA in project management, she combines expertise with a profound love for her work. As a sustainability analyst at EcoVadis and a graduate of the AfriTech Fellowship, Rihanna has refined her leadership, technical, and community engagement skills. Beyond her professional pursuits, Rihanna finds joy in the melodies of K-pop, the narratives of Korean dramas, and the marvel of Marvel movies. Thank you, Rihanna, for being here with us tonight.
Thank you for having me, Anga, and I hope it will be a fruitful session for everyone.
Thank you. And finally, last but certainly not least, we will have with us tonight Darshana Biabo. Darshana from Fontisac, Mauritius, has a journey in agricultural science that is as inspiring as it is promising. In the final stages of her degree at the University of Mauritius, Darshana's academic focus lies in agricultural science and technology. Her dissertation project centered on soil quality across Mauritius and the effectiveness of organic amendments underscores her dedication to understanding and improving agricultural practices. Additionally, Darshana serves as an intern at Alteo Agri Limited, contributing as an assistant agronomist by meticulously assessing soil quality in sugarcane fields. With aspirations of becoming an agronomist or a soil scientist, Darshana's passion for sustainable and regenerative agriculture is evident. Outside her academic and professional pursuits, Darshana finds solace in gardening, reading, listening to music, and drawing, always nurturing a deep connection with nature and the arts. Thank you, Darshana, for being here with us tonight.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being present. I am really happy to share some of my experience in the STEM field with you.
Thank you. So now that I have introduced all of our panelists, I will also like to ensure that there is clarity through the session. So I will explain how the session will go. So we will start by, I will start by asking questions to our panelists that they will respond to accordingly. Following the initial question session, if you still have more questions to ask them, or if you have any comments or add-ons on what they said, you will have an additional 10 to 15 minutes to engage with our panelists. So without leaving you in the dark, we're going to start now with Anne-Sophie. So Anne-Sophie, how do you prioritize wellness amidst the demands of a STEAM career?
So yeah, honestly, for me, prioritizing my wellness at the start of my career was kind of hard. Being a woman in the STEM field, which is already competitive, I always believe that I always have to gain on more experience, more skills, like always enrolling in the courses, which is not a bad thing, but the fact that I was just doing by like I was just like ticking tasks on a schedule for me was just because I feel like I had to compete with other female and male in the field of marine science, and therefore actually ended enrolling several courses and always going like trying to gain as much skills as I could. But then I realized I was doing to the detrimental of my own physical, mental, and emotional well-being. And this is where I realized that, yeah, I already have so much skills already that and the sad part is that it always other people who made me see that I have this skill. Like it started when I did the AfriTech fellowship last year, and I always had other people telling me like, yeah, you already have this knowledge, already have these skills. So why are you pressurizing yourself with always adding on and like you're being so tired at the end? And that's where I realized that, yeah, you're right. And why didn't I see it myself? So how I slowly started prioritizing my well-being is like already started acknowledging what I already have, what skills already possess, what experience already have, and just like emphasize more on them, really using them more in my career prospect, in my future studies, and all that. Like for example, I am a certified scuba diver, and I've been certified to go to 45-meter deep, which is a great achievement for myself. But still, I wasn't still happy with it because I still felt like I still was lagging behind. And I always had people saying like, wow, you're already to this level, so it's already amazing. And I just said, yeah, it's true. So really acknowledging what I already have was really beneficial for my mental well-being. And therefore I started like I still go to like for having more skills, more experience, but I'm more centered now. So I have specific goals, specific dreams, and I'm therefore aim for skills that are really going to help me achieve these goals and dreams. So I don't really now I really choose wisely what I want to do, what aspect I want to achieve, and so it just so that I just end up depleting my time and energy in things that maybe I won't be using now or even in the future. So really, I did started to work on it. Another aspect also work on for my well-being was accept that some days I will be having off days. Like I can't be 100% productive every day, even though I want to. Like I can't. So there were, and when I was there, when I realized that yeah, I wasn't performing when like 100%, I didn't been able to achieve these talks today, and this was really frustrating because I said like, why I can't do that? Why I'm lagging behind? Why I started to feel so worthless? Like I really I started to think myself, am I really worthy of being in the STEM field? And I was like, no, it's normal to have off days. It's normal to sometimes not feel I don't want to do anything. And someday I just accept it. I say, okay, I'm not okay. I won't do anything. I just don't want to do it. It's like really prioritizing that my mental health being now my priority, mostly in the field which is quite competitive. But I realized that I have to be mentally fit so that my body can follow, and so that I really can sustain with my job, with my passion, and really having this positive talk with myself. Like I always like to have affirmation, like listening to affirmation in the morning before prior going to work, so that I just remind myself like I already achieved a lot, I already quite far in my career, in my passion, and of course I'm gonna achieve much more in the future. And for that, I of course need to have a proper mindset, a proper mental, physical, and emotional well-being to achieve that. And also, what really helped me to maintain my well-being is being connected with a community of women in the STEM field, which I found through the AfriTech Fellowship, which was so grateful for that. Having wonderful women with so many dreams and goals, and who talked about the challenges, about the difficulties they've been through. So, like, just knowing that I'm not alone struggling, it's like it's everyone struggling. Is it a woman in the STEM field or even a man? We all have a struggle. We all sometimes feel stuck in life, and but just having a community of people who are comfortable to share how they are feeling, how sometimes they just feel like they're not worthy, or just like feeling like they're lagging behind. So this was really helpful to have a safe space to really interact, to really be myself, to share my passion, to share my insecurities and my weakness, which is also another point. Like also accepted some of the weakness I have, some which I thought will really be detrimental for being in the field of marine science, but I learned to accept them, to use them as a strength, and really to not let it stop me from really achieving what I want, to still aiming for higher. So these are really, and actually when I did like work on my well-being, I realized that everything was really in my head. Like I was a barrier sometimes to my own well-being because I was putting too much pressure on myself. I was expecting too much. Like not that I can't do it, but sometimes for the time being, I didn't have the proper resources or proper knowledge, and which is not a problem. I can have it in the future. But for the time being, sometimes just focusing on what I already have. And really, since I started working on really me, having the positive talk with myself, saying like, look, queen, you're slaying it. You're worthy. You're already doing great. And it is like I like to do it to tell to every people in the team, feel like you already achieve a lot. So it's really, even though I had failure in my career or even in my personal goals that I have, I no more see it as a failure. For me, it's like a lesson I just learned. It's like I really love a quote that I really love it. Say like, you either win or learn. You never fail. Just like a step back, that sometimes just have to step back just to be able to launch yourself higher and less more further. So it so it's been like that how I really try maintaining my well-being, both emotional well-being and mental, so I really can sustain being the marine field, and really, which is my passion. I really want to go further in that field and really make a change in this world.
Thank you so much, Anne-Sophie. And as you said, I think we should all repeat that to ourselves. You're a queen and you're slaying, because that's true. I've seen it firsthand, and you are slaying. I think that just to add on what you just said, the STEAM field, I mean, I know that all the fields are very difficult, but there is an extra pressure on people in the STEAM field, because since we're scientists, people want us to be perfect. And there's always that pressure that's present here when we are in the STEAM field. And the fact that on top of that pressure, we have those voices in our head telling us that we are not enough, that really does not help. And I'm very glad that you've been able to find the time for yourself to find out what helped you, but also to realize that we are our harshest critique. And once you find out about this, you realize that you can do better, but you also that you should take some time to take care of yourself and to realize when you need help and when you need to say stop. And like you said, it's okay to have off days. It's okay not to be okay. You don't have to be okay and 100% every day, because at the end of the day, you're human as well. So thank you so much for sharing this with us, Anne-Sophie. And we'll continue with Rihanna. So Rihanna, how does prioritizing wellness contribute to your effectiveness and creativity in your work?
So for me, it actually took some time for me to realize that how much my well-being affects my work. So usually, like Anne-Sophie said, we put so much pressure on ourselves that we do not realize that this leads to maybe not the output that we wanted, this leads to mistakes or even burnout sometimes. But then with time, I realized how much wellness, and in terms of wellness, I mean both physical and mental health wellness is very important. To share one experience, actually, I remember once I was working on a project and I was struggling a whole day to find where the issue was in my software, why it was not working, and I couldn't find it. But then after, I think it was a Friday, but after the weekend, I usually struggle to cut off, but that time I remember I really cut off like for a weekend, and Monday from a fresh pair, like fresh view on my project, I could actually see where the issue was at the morning itself. So this is why, I mean, with experience, I keep seeing that, and now I'm convinced the importance of mental and physical wellness on our work. And it's definitely like we should do things, like we should definitely do things that help us to cut off, or even sometimes, we like I used to feel guilty also, to take one day off or know what is going to happen to the work. But now I think it's much better. Now I can really cut off now. And I think for me also, AfriTech really helped me with the wellness part. And I think I found AfriTech at a really good time. So it really helped me to build up that part for me. And also, I'm still struggling, but I must say it's much better than than it was before. So yeah, so that was my part. And and I should like encourage everyone that you should find something that that helps you to cut off from work. Do something that you like. And for me, for example, I love to do like to cut off really on Saturdays. Sometimes I do my Zumba, or Sunday I will watch some movies. But this really helps actually to cut off, especially if you struggle to cut off. In the STEM, you're always thinking about what to do next, what to do next. We keep running, like, yeah. So that was my part.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rihanna. And I think you have a point right there when you say that it's sometimes you're struggling so much when you're focusing on something, and it might actually just be right in front of you. And you're talking about a work, but sometimes it can be, for example, you're looking for something which is on the table right here, and you're looking for it, and you don't know where it is. It's just that then you take a step back and you breathe, and then you just find it. It was just right in front of you. And that's exactly why you need to take some time for yourself, because that, for example, that's an image when I say that something right in front of you that you just missed. But on a life level, it can be so big because you just pile up stress and all the things that you need to do, and you don't take time for yourself, and it can be quite difficult to let go of this. And as you say, we are in a very fast-paced society where we are always running and doing things. And I think, like you said, we should take time to stop and to take a step back and understand what is happening before we continue, because we are not supposed to just run and run and run all the time. So thank you so much for your input, Rihanna, on this. And we will move now to Jenisha. So, Jenisha, what specific strategies do you employ to maintain a healthy work-life balance?
So getting the ideal work-life balance is like unlocking the recipe for a happy and healthy existence. So it all comes with balancing your personal and professional responsibilities. But does it really matter? Let's delve into why maintaining a healthy work-life balance is crucial for our well-being. So first of all, I set clear boundaries. Establishing boundaries between work and personal life is crucial for maintaining balance. I set specific work hours and avoid checking work-related emails and messages during non-working hours. Secondly, I prioritize my tasks. This is performed by identifying and prioritizing tasks to manage my workload. So I use the urgent, not urgent. I think that I will drop a picture of it on the chat. So by classifying the task, so urgent, not urgent, important and not important quadrants. So I classify my tasks by focusing on the most important tasks first and setting realistic deadlines to avoid feeling overwhelmed and maintain a better work-life balance. Thirdly is flexible working arrangement. So currently at my workplace, so we have stand for a mutual arrangement between my colleagues whereby those coming early can leave early. So this one support work-life balance by offering flexible working option, allowing us to and employees to tailor our work schedules to better suit our individual needs and personal commitments. Fourth, I would say that promote time management. Effective time management is essential for achieving a healthy work-life balance. I normally utilize tools and techniques such as to-do lists, calendar apps, and time blocks to stay organized and manage my time efficiently. And then I do take regular breaks throughout my day, which help me to recharge and prevent burnout. Working in a hospital, I have to keep my energy high and firm, and hence taking short breaks and even scheduling longer breaks. As you would see that I take lots of vacations, so this helped me to maintain a healthy work-life balance. Additionally, a positive and supportive work culture has significantly enhanced my work-life balance. Through open communication, recognizing each colleague's effort promote a healthy work-life balance. Lastly is focusing on my personal well-being. Like Rihanna and Anne-Sophie said that like prioritizing our physical and mental health is very important. And I normally engage in regular exercise, eating a balanced diet, and getting sufficient sleep. Practicing mindfulness techniques such as a peaceful walk in the nature, gardening, relaxing, like relaxing by the beach, or even jogging activity or doing activities that you love. For example, me, I love to swim and do DIY stuff. So these things have helped me reduce stress and improve on my overall well-being. So success is a byproduct of well-being. Everything starts from the core, your inner motivation to achieve sustainable change. Exploring your core encourages you to live in a life that looks like you, and even realize your potential and be true to what matters most. So 3 questions for you. Do you know who you are? Do you know what you want? are you in control of your life? So to summarize, establishing clear boundaries, prioritizing your tasks, promoting flexible work arrangement, and focusing on your well-being are just a few to improve work-life balance and ensure a happier and productive workforce. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jenisha. Wow, that was really well structured. And I think all of us should have been taking notes. I sure need to take some notes on what you just said, because I think one of two things that I personally struggle with from time to time. I mean, it was worse at the beginning, it's less now, is time management and boundary setting. And just working on those two aspects in my life, it changed my life. So it's true when you say that having boundaries and having a specific time frame when you're doing things and a specific time frame when you're taking breaks as well, because you should incorporate that in your planning. Sometimes when we're working too much, we forget to take time to have a break or to just stop and pause a little. So I think that's really important. And as you said, it's important to know where to start and where to finish, because like you said, for boundary setting, it is important to have the break where you go to work, you concentrate on your work, and when you're at home, you concentrate on who you are and where you're going with your family as well. Because, for example, for me, it can be quite tricky. Personally, I work from home because I'm self-employed, and it's very difficult when you're working from home to separate those two things. But when you're creating boundaries and making sure that you're following a certain time frame, it's easier. So thank you so much, Jenisha, for every tips that you give us. I hope that it can help a lot of us on this call tonight and all the people that will review this video later. It sure will help me because I have noted some tips that might help me as well. Thank you. So we'll continue with Darshana. So Darshana, how can organizations within the STEAM field better support the wellness needs of their employees?
The wellness needs of the employees can be achieved by encouraging better meeting schedule. Back-to-back meetings have leave people feeling more stressed out, less alert and sleepy. It gives the impression that busier employees are more productive and engaged. However, research has now proven it is in fact the exact opposite. Instead, the organization can promote a culture with at least 10-minute breaks between back-to-back sessions. This encourages employees to be more focused and relaxed in meetings. Moreover, the organization can drive a culture of wellness. From top, the best way to get the leadership team to start a wellness routine is to personalize it for them. One way to do it is through a personality assessment, which covers their inherent traits, environment, and goals in life. Another way is to appreciate that professional and personal lives overlap. It helps to have policies that account for complex life events like divorce, health issues, elderly parent care, mental health, pandemic, etc. Knowing that some relief is available if we ask for it is enough. Honest and authentic conversation at this time can benefit both the employee and the organization. It is also the time to introduce and encourage employees to seek counseling and mindful practices like yoga and meditation. Many of the world's top companies such as Google, Sony, Facebook, and Nike are using meditation to inspire a happy and healthy workplace. This also helps to tackle stress. Stress management is an essential life skill that is as relevant in the workplace as in personal life. Yoga and mindfulness are the best ways to learn stress management. And finally, the organization can take steps to foster a sense of social belonging among employees, creating a work culture in which employees can develop supportive relationships with their colleagues can be an important strategy for increasing worker well-being. The company can do short briefing on emotional intelligence, where the employee develops the ability to manage both their emotions and understand the emotion of people around them. They develop self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Thank you. That's all for me.
Thank you so much, Darshana, for sharing this with us. And there are 2 points that you said that I think are very important. Like when you said about the environment should be the safe space for people who want to come to work, but also share about, like you said, difficult conversations as well. And all of this starts with the environment of the work itself. I think it is also a great point that you made with the social point, because we need to realize that people spend a lot of time at their workplace, and it's something that a lot of organizations forget about. And creating a space where people can meet socially inside this workspace, it can create better teamwork and better communication as well. So I think that's a very great point that you made just now. I will now open the floor to you all when to the panelists when I say what maybe would be your advice to individuals only now starting their journey within this STEAM field that we are talking about. So maybe Anne-Sophie, what would be your advice for those people?
So my advice will be dare to dream. Like really aim for your dream and your goal and believe in yourself. Like for example, I remember when I was still a little girl, I love watching wildlife documentary, and I remember I said like one day I want to be like doing wildlife documentary, but then I don't know what happened with time when I got into the routine of life, got a job, and just like yeah, it felt like this was an impossible dream. But guess what? Now I again have the dream. I want to become now an underwater photographer and videographer, and I do dream someday maybe have do a documentary on marine world. So really, what my advice is like dare to dream, believe in yourself, aim for your goal and dream, and also don't compare your life with another person in the same field as you. Like even you might be of the same age, like in the same career path, but always remember that your timeline is not the same as another person's timeline. We have different paths, different goals, and obviously ours and our objective won't be the same. The tools we'll be using won't be the same. And like you can see someone achieving things that you haven't done, but it doesn't mean that you won't achieve it. You can do it. So just really have to believe in yourself. And also like what I also recommend to my fellow junior marine scientists also. Sometimes I tell them like just don't stick to the field of marine science, but also diversify your skills. Like also aim maybe toward a bit of management, GIS skills. Also like just to add up a bit more in your in the skills you already have, but also just to diversify and not just be stick in the same field that you know. Like really have an open mind, be broad, and really connect with people who are in the same field as you, but also in the different field, because it really helps. Like seriously, personally, I had this exposure with AfriTech again, like meeting other women in the different field of STEM, like well not in marine science, but it was in the field of engineering, mathematics, and other science field. Like really, you have another broad perspective. Like really, they have another mindset, like open mindset, but the way they will think at things will be so different at like mine. Like sometimes when we were having discussion, I say like, oh yeah, I really like your way of thinking. Like it can be included in marine aspect. So why I never thought about that? So really connect with people in the same field as you, but also in other fields, so that you can have a broader aspect of what the STEM field is. it's really insightful. Really, it's actually will be really helpful to connect with people. Yeah.
Thank you, Anne-Sophie. And actually, I would like to say, you say that you dream to do that. You are already doing this. She is actually already doing photography and videography and short documentaries under the sea. So congratulations. You've already started searching your dream. And yes, like you said, no one has the same path as you. So stop comparing yourself. Just be yourself and be happy with that. So, Rihanna, what would be your advice?
So for me, my advice would be to choose a path that you're really passionate about, and also to be patient, because the STEM pathway is so difficult sometimes, especially for women in this generation. I mean, for everyone, it's so difficult. The road is never smooth for STEM, I think, because each time I talk about this with my colleagues, everyone, like, our pathway was such a roller coaster before even getting into a job that is related to our passion, to our degree. So passion and patience is very needed in this field.
Thank you so much, Rihanna. And yes, I think patience is very, very important. And we had this discussion earlier this week, no, last week actually, with one of the fellow, when we said that sometimes we, like we said earlier as well, we are always running. So sometimes it's important to realize that not everything is going to happen at the same time. So we need to be patient, and it's all going to be okay. Thank you, Rihanna. So, Jenisha, what would be your advice?
So my advice would be believe in your abilities and foster a mindset of lifelong learning. The STEM field are ever evolving, so staying curious and open to new knowledge is crucial. When STEM is learning through failure, one should treat failure as part of your understanding of how things work and do not work. So you can also join clubs, teams, or competition that involve STEM challenges. So put your passion at center. It may sound cliche, but dedicate time to finding your passion. Remember this phrase: a woman who loves what she does will never work a day in their life. So it's sometimes not easy to find your passion, but be reminded that you don't have to realize it at once. Since childhood, I had interested in manipulating things, be it by helping my parents with either some mechanical work or fitting a lead light tube, or even repairing and fixing broken electronic instruments and motors. It was then that I realized that the starters of lead tube follow the laws of expansion and contraction, and other such interesting experiences which marveled me. As a young lady, I discovered my passion for physics during my secondary education, and I love physics, though women in physics represent a minority. So, aspiring to get a deeper physical and mathematical knowledge of the world, I opted for an undergraduate in physics at University of Mercer. So you see, some find the passion in the early stage of the career, and for others, it takes considerably longer. So never stop being in pursuit of what set your soul on fire, even if it may seem unconventional. Your passion for what you do will get you through the bad days and will make the good days even more rewarding. So you should have a honest conversation with yourself. Like this includes gaining a deeper understanding of your strengths and weaknesses. It took me like being honest, I was not particularly good at public speaking, but I needed to learn and become better at speaking. When we open ourselves to discovering our strengths and weaknesses, we are open to ourselves, leveraging our strengths and finding ways to improve on our weakness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jenisha. I think, like you said, you should know your strengths and your weaknesses as well. And it's even though you think that weaknesses are bad things, it's usually the first thing we'll find out about ourselves. It's very difficult to find our strength. It's often more easy for people to find out what their weakness is instead of finding their strength. But both of them are very important, because once you know your strength, you know what you can do better and how you can do it. And once you know your weakness, you know where are your limitation and where you will need help of your community around you. So thank you so much, Jenisha. And Darshana, what would be your advice?
I would advise them to be patient and focus more on the experience that you will get in STEAM community rather than only thinking about the salary. Follow your passion. Later on, you will be a professional and money will not be an issue. Then, be positive, as it might be quite challenging from the start, but if you keep on moving forward, you will indeed adapt and excel one day. When you are having difficulty at your workplace, communicate with colleagues and superiors. Remaining silent only worsens the problem. If you tackle the issue early, then you will not stress. And lastly, do not doubt yourself, your abilities. That the tasks that have been given to you, you can make mistakes, but everyone makes mistakes. Learn from those mistakes and level up. Keep yourself updated on your field. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Darshana. And I would take that bit. Take note on your mistake and level up. Always leveling up. And that's a really nice story, actually. So maybe you should share it with us all after this. Thank you so much, Darshana. And thank you to all of our panelists. And on that note, I will open the floor to any additional questions or comments that the audience might have. It can be towards one specific panelist or open to all of them. Please feel free to unmute yourself or just respond in the chat. It can also be if you have, there is a specific question that that you want to add up on, maybe on your personal perspective, you can also unmute yourself and share with us.
Hello, I'd like
Hello,
to share
Ishita.
one thing.
Yes, go
Hello.
ahead.
The section has been very fruitful for me. Like each and every guest, with their experiences they shared, brought a change in my mindset. I would like to thank them for this, each and every one of them. The change is that I used to thought that when I'm not doing anything, I'm not productive. But after listening to this session, so what I can feel that no, it's okay to rest. It's okay to rest, to do what we want to do, not always be doing like things related to work. Because if we are taking the rest, the break, putting our passion, this can lead us to work more efficiently. And above all, which I can understand, we are, after all, human being and not human doing. So I shouldn't always be doing, like as you're saying, prioritizing our well-being. So this is something that brought a change in my mindset. Thank you all for this.
Thank you so much, Ishita, for sharing with us. And I'm very glad that it brought that change for you. And definitely, if you need to rest, you should rest. And like you said, maybe you should record yourself saying that you are a human being and not a human doing. And each time you feel like you're unproductive because you're deciding to take that time to rest, maybe play that and repeat so that you have it in your mind telling you, well, it's okay to rest. I don't know if any other panelists would like to bounce on what Ishita just said. No, okay. So we also have in the chat, we have a message from Reason Baloyi. I hope I'm saying your name well. I'm sorry if I'm not. I enjoyed today's lesson. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight, because it's important for us that because the AfriTech Connect community is for the AfriTech Fellowship alumni, but it's also for the whole community, because we want everyone to have a say and to have a space where they can come and connect and tell us more about their own experience in those 4 themes that we mentioned at the beginning, which is project management, spatial technology, inclusive leadership, and as today, wellness. Thank you. We also have a thank you so much for this insightful session, ladies. You're inspiring. Thank you, Geshna. We also have a message from Thierry Raiche. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name well. Thanks a lot. I also learned something towards career wellness. Thank you. And it's I'm very happy that it is welcomed by all of you from the audience. And I think I speak from the panelists and for myself when I say thank you for joining us tonight. So if there is no more questions or comment, thank you, Ishita. If there are no more questions or comments, maybe before closing this session, if the panelists would have any last sentence or quick message that you would like to pass to the audience and to the world.
So I would say thank you everyone for your presence and support. Like, I'm very happy today, like my friends all here, like all my friends, and a special thanks to my friend from Mauritius, Zimbabwe, South Africa, and Trinidad, who came to support me here. I'm very happy. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. So thank you all for joining us on this episode of AfriTech Connect tonight. And we hope today's discussion on wellness has inspired you all. If you missed the last episode of AfriTech Connect, I will invite you to go check them on our YouTube channel, which is AfriTech Connect. And if you would like to watch all of the other sessions, and so stay tuned on our different social media platforms so that you get all the information and to know more about our sessions, but also to join more empowering conversation. Until next time, keep innovating and embracing the spirit of exploration. And on that, I will say goodbye.